3, 2, 1, clap. Hello, and welcome to All the Alleged Details, a White Collar recap podcast where we analyze each episode and talk about all the little details that matter.
Mostly to us.
I'm August.
And I'm Rainy.
And today is October 22nd
Yes,
of 2025. We had a whole game plan, Rainy.
We did.
I approached you about making a podcast back in May.
Oh my god, has it really been that long?
I think so.
That's insane.
Because it took us a couple weeks.
It's been a long road here.
And then we started recording in July. Because I had told you, I was like, I want us to get up to Freefall recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll start posting.
Yes.
And that just so happened to line up really well with October 23rd.
Yes. Caffrey birthday.
That the show originally aired back in 2009. I was like, perfect, beautiful.
Kismet.
That'll give us time to learn how to make a podcast. That'll give me time to learn how to edit a podcast. There was a lot of mess over the summer for both of us.
There was.
We got episodes edited, did this and that. Started getting ready to post tomorrow, the 23rd.
23rd?
I sent you the podcast as final listening. This is as polished as it's gonna get. And it was like, what if we re-recorded actually?
Yep.
what if we can do better?
Well, the thing is, this is our first time making a podcast for both of us.
Yeah.
And we learned so much over the course of the last few months, and we grew a lot. And we also vastly changed our structure, because at first we were picking a theme for each episode and trying to analyze each episode through that theme. And we just realized that it just wasn't working.
No, it was a good concept for a podcast.
Yes.
But for how you and I talk about this show,
we just have a lot more fun when we are just feral about the show.
Yeah. And it was one of those painful decisions we made where it was painful in the way that we know we're better now.
Yeah.
And it was okay, 24 hours beforehand, we're going to scrap the 7 episodes we've recorded and start fresh.
Yep. Not all 7. I think there's a couple good ones in there that we'll keep. But yeah, it's 24 hours to release, and we are re-recording our pilot episode.
And we're re-recording the pilot. We're very excited about it. We were taking notes and stuff this morning and getting ourselves hyped up. And it's just, even just in taking notes. Because obviously the first time we did it, we were taking notes through the theme.
Mm-hmm.
And that just leaves, when you're trying to find points to talk about a theme with, so many of our favorite details got missed because they didn't fit.
Exactly.
Or didn't get the energy that we could bring to them.
We were very awkward when we first started this. We've gotten so much more comfortable at just talking to microphones. We figured out so much of the technical stuff. Mm-hmm. When we first started recording, we had that terrible lag because we couldn't figure out Discord. Mm-hmm. And my microphone was doing these weird, it would just cut out half a second of audio here and there, making me sound super weird.
So I still like our pilot episode, but I like our pilot episode in the way that I like my kindergarten drawings.
Yes. Exactly. It's like baby's first podcast.
Baby's first podcast. So those are still on the hard drive. Those will still get out at some point in some ways. Ooh.
Yeah. We'll talk about that more later.
Yeah. That's an outro thing. For now, we're just going to get into talking about the pilot episode of White Collar.
I'm so excited. I love
excited.
White Collar so much. If it's not evident by the fact that we're doing a fucking podcast about White Collar, I love White Collar.
Yeah, we're here recording we're re-recording 24 hours beforehand because we only kind of like the show.
Yeah. Should I start us off with a summary of Pilot Part 1?
Oh shit, you should. Something I forget every single time.
All right. Well, maybe we should preface. We are talking about the extended pilot, which I think is now the only one that you can find streaming. Maybe unless you're in Europe. I'm not sure. But I know the DVDs don't have the extended edition. So we're talking about the extended edition. So we're going to do an episode for Pilot Part 1 and then an episode for Pilot Part 2.
So if for some reason you're listening to a White Collar recap podcast without ever having seen the extended edition, we might be talking about scenes you've never seen before. I highly recommend watching it.
All right. So Pilot Part 1. Here we go. Neil Caffrey, professional conman, forger, and art thief, escapes from prison by walking out the front doors wearing a guard uniform. FBI agent Peter Burke is pulled off another case to help find him, being the agent who first caught Neil. Investigating the prison, Peter realizes that Neil broke out to chase after his girlfriend Kate, who had broken up with him a month and a half before. Peter heads to Kate's apartment and he finds Neil there. Peter tells him he's going to get 4 more years for breaking out. Before Neil is arrested, he notices a fiber on Peter's suit and offers to tell him what it is if Peter will agree to meet him back in prison at 1 week. Peter agrees, and Neil tells him that it's a fiber for the new Canadian $100 bill. At their meeting a week later, Neil makes Peter an offer to help Peter catch the criminal that he's after if he allows for Neil to work for him as a criminal informant. Peter declines, telling Neil that he knows he would just run and try to find Kate. 3 months later, on the day that Neil was supposed to be released, Peter is reflecting on denying Neil's offer. His wife Elizabeth convinces him that he should give Neil a chance because he served the time of his original sentence, and is running after a girl really that bad of a crime? Peter agrees and picks Neil up from prison and takes him to his new home in a shady motel. Neil goes to a nearby thrift store and meets an affluent lady, June Ellington, donating her late husband's high-end suits. The two of them bond, and she offers Neil a room in a multi-million-dollar mansion. Peter and Neil bicker about Neil's upgrade in living arrangement and dramatic wardrobe choice, but continue investigating the case. They head to the airport, where they hear a tip connected to their case, where they learn that rare books are being brought over, and Neil puts together that it's because the blank pages are perfect for forging old Spanish victory bonds. They also discover the original bond has been replaced by a forgery. And that's the end of Pilot Part 1.
I'm going to give the quick disclaimer that our summaries are going to hit on the bare essentials of the episode.
Yes.
Under the assumption that any finer details or points that we want to talk about are going to be in the podcast.
Yes.
If there's a moment that we missed that you're like, no, they didn't mention, we probably are going to get to it.
Probably.
I can almost guarantee.
Especially considering the very first time that we tried to record this pilot episode, we ended up literally just going line by line over.
Line by line.
Line by line. But we had fun doing it.
We sure did. And hopefully we're not going to do that now. But one of the first details that matters in the entire show is that they decided to do like a 5-minute sequence in silence. Yes. Basically. It's near silence.
There's like a couple like background lines from background characters that you can't like fully make out, but yeah, it's like it's fully 5 minutes with no dialogue, and it's so good. And the fact that they managed to keep your attention for those full 5 minutes without any dialogue, it's so good.
It's such good writing.
Yes.
It's such good acting. It's such good cinematography. The way they cut things, the angles they chose to film at. You are engrossed the entire time.
Matt does so much just with his face. It's one of my favorite things about Matt Bomer as an actor is just how much acting he can do with just his face. It's so good. I'm
trying to decide how much if we need to describe what's happening, which probably we don't.
No, we don't.
That's the problem we were just talking about. I'm walking us into a landmine. But there's just like little details that I love that it starts with, like Neil hiding in this bathroom stall, and I love the overhead shot of it.
Yes.
He's got like the prison guard uniform stashed in the back of the toilet. He's using a broken razor that's like duct taped together.
Yeah. And like a broken mirror, and he's using the water from the back of the toilet to help him shave.
It's so good. It's such little things that add so much depth and like instant understanding to what's happening.
Yeah. You like know right off the bat what he's doing. He's like getting himself ready to escape from prison. You can just tell.
Yeah. It's such good visual storytelling in the way that it lacks that dialogue or any kind of external narrative. Where it's just Neil in orange hiding in this bathroom stall with a broken mirror and a broken razor. And you're like, oh shit. Before he's done anything, you have this understanding of what's happening.
And then you get that I love the beautiful little like title card as soon as he gets out of the prison, and it's just Neil Caffrey, and it tells us a little introduction to him. I love it.
And it has below his name, it goes through what he's been convicted for. and it says like convicted of bond forgery, but then it says suspected, I think.
It does. Suspected counterfeiting, securities fraud, art theft, and racketeering. I did write it down.
I think the words fade.
They do, but it
before
like keeps going.
truly finished telling every crime Neil's suspected of committing. And I love, that's such another good little thing of using the audience's interpretation to build further understanding of what's happening.
Yeah.
That quick pace of the words changing out all of his crimes and stuff. You're like, oh shit, this man's done a lot.
Yeah.
And I love that it's both obvious and kind of open-ended.
Yeah. I love that too. I love that he gets to the van and he hotwires it and he pulls himself out a mixtape from his jacket. He made himself a mixtape for his prison escape because he's just that extra.
Yeah. It'll say later in the episode that part of his escape was that he recoded cards. The prison, like, they have swipe cards to get through the doors.
Yeah, like magnetic key cards.
Yeah. And he recarded one using a cassette tape player to be able to get through the security doors. But it's just really funny that he went that extra step to not only rescan the card, but make himself a mixtape.
Yes, it's so good.
He's really set.
Oh, absolutely. And he, like, you can see it on his face. He's just so proud of himself and so, like, happy. And, like, you can tell he is, when he's driving that fancy car that he steals, the convertible, he's like, you can see on his face the full confidence that he has that he is going to find Kate. Like, he's on his way. He's going to go get his girl. They're going to run away and live happily ever after. And he believes that 100%, no doubt in his mind.
It's literally his I'm riding into the sunset moment.
It is. Oh, it's so good.
So, are we ready to get to Peter?
Sure.
My man, Peter.
Let's do it.
So that's Neil Caffrey's big introduction. And then we cut hard to a bank, I think.
I think it's a bank. It's some kind of vault.
It's some kind of vault. We cut to something like that where there's a man breaking into something and Peter's watching him do all this. And the man is like announcing numbers out. I love Peter so much.
Numbers on the pins as they drop for the lock.
Yeah. Yep. Peter's like excited and patting people on the back and smiling and stuff. And then this guy announces the last number and Peter gets this look on his face. And it turns out that the numbers are actually a code that shows that this bad guy, that whoever Peter's chasing, obviously is onto them.
Right. Because
he leaves the code FBI as the lock for the safe.
Yep.
And as soon as it's unlocked, it explodes. And it's one of my favorite first Peter moments, I guess. I have so many favorite Peter moments. This is the first, I think, very Peter trait shown.
Oh, yeah. How he's
is that this room explodes. And, like, dust blows. Like, Peter, there's the safe room that this one guy's in. And then there's all the other FBI agents outside of this room. And so the room explodes, and Peter immediately runs in after the guy.
And asks if he's okay.
Yeah.
Such a Peter thing to do.
I love that so much.
Such a Peter thing to do.
And he, like, wraps his tie around his mouth to cover from the dust. But I love that he runs in. The room explodes, and he runs in. Ah!
It's very Peter. It's very Peter.
It's very Peter. It's such a good, like, detail to write in.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm obsessed with it.
It's very good. It's very good. I love Peter so much. I love them. I love everyone.
Right. That's a sentence you're going to hear a lot.
Yes. I love that he immediately starts asking for Diana because he knows that she's smarter than all of them.
He's, like, very mad about it. He's like, where's Diana?
Yes. I need this smart one. Where did she go?
Yeah. Jones is like, oh, she's out taking a call. And Peter's like, well, go get her. He's sick. He's sick of everybody in that room. But it's such a good scene because Peter's also, like, is shown also to be very smart in that moment.
Yeah.
By sensing the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, putting it together.
And so I can understand his frustration for it to be like, everything's gone to shit. And I need somebody who can match me on my level at this moment.
Yes, I need somebody confident. Get her in here. I love how... So Diana tells Peter that Neil's escaped. And then Peter has the gall to act like surprised, like, why did they ask for me? Peter, you know why they asked for you. You know why, because you're the only person who caught Neil. You know that's why they want you. And then he looks so smug after Diana says it.
And poor sweet Peter is like, well, why?
Why do you think,
you
Peter?
bastard? You know exactly why. He just wants to be told.
Yeah.
He wants a little bit of pride.
Yeah. He needed the confidence boost after blowing up evidence.
And it's so funny because then they cut to Peter goes to the prison where Neil just escaped from.
Mm-hmm.
And he's condescending to everybody there.
So, yes.
He's like, I know more than you.
He's like, oh, you dropped the ball? Oh, it's your fault.
Peter walks in high and mighty. And as he should.
As he should.
As he should. He is the Neil Caffrey expert in the situation. And also, these guys did drop the ball.
Peter's the Neil Caffrey expert, period. I love they're on their way to Neil's cell, and they're talking about how he escaped and how he like bought this security guard uniform online. And Peter asks, how did he buy this? Like, what card did he use? And the warden says, he used my wife's American Express. And Peter, in that moment, looks so proud of Neil. He just like grins. He's like, that's my boy.
Literally.
It's so good.
There's another line before they're walking down the hall that I was looking for, where it's Peter goes like, I know I spent 3 years of my life chasing him and you let him walk out the front door.
Yes, it's so good.
It's so catty.
It's very catty. And he looks so smug when he says it too. Oh, I love it. I love it.
But Peter's alive by doing all this search.
I think he's excited to be going after Neil again.
He's so excited. He loves all the little sneaky little things Neil's done in this.
Mm-hmm.
He finds the mixtape or the cassette player where Neil had restriped the cards, and he like looks at the warden and goes, "Should have gotten him a CD player."
Right. I am a little bit obsessed with Neil's prison cell.
Yeah, can we talk about it?
Sure. Okay, first off, where did he get all of this stuff? He's got framed artwork. He's got poetry magnets. He's got sugar packets in a glass jar. He's got the cassette player. He does.
I've never seen that before.
They're there. He's got all of this stuff. Like, why does he have all of this stuff? He's got so many books, but like that's normal in a prison. But like the framed artwork.
Well, he does have sugar packets. And also the mixtape that Peter pulls out of the cassette player that's still at the prison. It says Neil mixtape 61. Neil's mix number 61.
He's made so many.
He's made so many.
I also love all of the sketches that he has of St. George and the Dragon, which is a painting that Neil stole.
Yeah.
And he's just got all these sketches of it. He was quite comfortable. He made himself at home.
He was quite comfortable. There's a detail you haven't mentioned about the prison cell.
Is it the tally marks?
The tally marks. They're in different pin colors, which I really like. It shows just how long. It adds some depth to it to make it seem more plausible, as if Neil's been doing it for 4 years, rather than just having it all be in like black Sharpie. Oh, it's so good. They put so much thought and detail into that little prison cell.
They really did. I could pause and like look at all of the details of it for a good half an hour, I feel like.
Okay, there's one of the first moments that I really could freak out about.
Go for it.
is that they're describing to Peter everything that Neil did and stuff right before he ran. And they're like, yeah, the razors to shave his beard. And Peter goes, Neil doesn't have a beard. Babe, how do you know? You haven't seen the man in 4 years. He's been in prison for 4 years. And it's just a given to you that Neil doesn't have a beard.
Yeah, he just knows. Neil is clean shaven. Neil will always be clean shaven. He can't let himself grow a beard. What do you mean? That's not Neil.
It's so... And that line of logic that Neil doesn't have a beard is the first domino to fall. And when it comes to like figuring out where Neil went. Because it's like, that's such a leap in logic to me. It's a leap in logic to me in the way that Peter must know Neil very well to make that assertion.
Yeah.
And he does. He does know Neil that well.
He does. Absolutely.
He would know that Neil would never grow a beard even in 4 years in prison.
Yeah. They're like looking over, trying to figure out what made Neil run, right? And the warden mentions, because he like talked to the guards, and he mentions that the guards loved him. And I don't know why, but that little detail is so important to me, because I feel like a lot of times portrayals of prison like show guards as
the enemies.
Yeah, really like abusive and asshole, but the guards loved Neil. They loved him, and I love that. I love that.
I am gonna bounce off that by backpedaling a little bit.
Go for it.
In that starts off with the guard it's the marshal. He comes back in.
Yeah, the marshal.
And he says, like, everybody here loved him, whatever. And Peter goes, so he didn't run out of fear or something like that.
He wasn't scared into an escape.
Which means that Peter sent this U.S. Marshal out questioning these people on the very first assumption being, well, Neil must have run because he was scared. Something must have happened to Neil. And I like that the first assumption isn't Neil chose to run.
Which I think makes a lot of sense, because it is 3 months from the end of his sentence. And like Peter knows, Neil is smart. He didn't run because he's stupid. And if he ran with 3 months left on his sentence, he had to have a good reason for it. If he was going to run, he would have run at the beginning of his sentence, not at the very end of it.
I just like it.
I do too.
It's so good. Oh, this is... So you're talking about how much acting Matt does with his face?
Yes.
There's such a good moment of all the acting Tim does with his face.
Yes.
And the marshal goes, no, they loved him. And the moment the U.S. Marshal says the word loved, you can watch the realization come over on Tim's face.
I need to
Peter's
see this.
Face.
I didn't clock that, and now I'm pulling it up.
Because he says the word loved, and that sets Peter off into looking up visitors to see if Kate came to visit Neil.
Oh, yeah, you can see it. Yep. No, they loved him. And then, boom, light bulb. Loved. Love. That's why he would run, because of love.
Yeah, it's fully a light bulb moment.
It really is.
You could animate this. It could have been a cartoon.
Yeah.
The way that it's so perfectly expressed on Tim's face.
It is.
And I think that's amazing.
It's really good. I just want to know... I want to know how long it took Neil to come up with this plan. Like, do you think that he stopped shaving when Kate broke up with him out of depression, and then he used that to form part of his escape? Or do you think it was immediate, like she broke up with him and he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here?
I would think that it's instantly, I'm going to get the fuck out of here then.
Yeah?
Because they cut to the recording of Kate saying goodbye to Neil. And it's very clear that Kate isn't giving him much to work off of.
At all.
Neil's so stressed, that whole conversation. Like, he's standing up, like, almost hitting on the glass wall that separates them in that conversation.
He's fully got his hand, like, pressed to the glass. He is as close to it as he can get.
So I think the whole thing is, like, she left with no answers. I'm gonna go get them.
Okay.
Whatever's happening is out there, and I need to get there.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. It's not like Neil to wallow at all.
No, that man, he's a man of action.
He is. Which I think, what a perfect segue. I think that's why, like, he had this plan. His plan was escape, find Kate, live happily ever after, right? And so when Peter finds him just sitting in Kate's apartment, just, like, so despondent, like literally sitting there like he's given up, I don't think until he got to her apartment and realized that he missed her by 2 days, I don't think he ever let that be a possibility for him. Like, it was never an option in his mind that he wouldn't find her.
He only thought as far as getting to the apartment.
Yeah.
And that plan was going to be, then he gets Kate and they run or something. But he got to the apartment and it was moved out, emptied. With only like a bike and a knocked over lamp left over.
Yeah. That's like all that's in there.
And a empty bottle of wine.
Yes. The wine bottle.
Oh. And the whole scene in Kate's apartment is it's the peak of the episode. It's the peak of the pilot.
Yes.
If you ever see a fan edit from White Collar, it'll probably involve that scene.
Probably, because it's
probably.
It's so layered. There's so much to it. Like, you can... I'm sorry, I'm about to go off, August.
Go off.
You can feel their history, like, even in, like, the lines between the dialogue. Like, you can feel it. They have so much history. They have so much shared trust. Just in the fact that, like, one, Neil is sitting in this apartment calmly waiting for Peter to show up. Two, Peter goes in alone without his weapon drawn, which is wild considering that Neil is a wanted fugitive on the run. And the
building is surrounded by cops.
Surrounded. And they let Peter go in alone by himself, and he goes in essentially unarmed. Yeah. Yeah.
He just walks in.
Just walks right in. Calm as can be, because he knows
making
that
jokes
Neil...
at him.
Yeah.
Sorry,
because he knows that... No, you're fine. He knows that Neil is nonviolent. He knows that Neil doesn't like guns. And he knows that Neil isn't going to hurt him. He's not a threat. Like, he just knows that. And he trusts that after 4 years in prison, that still hasn't changed. And Neil knows that Peter is a good cop. He's not going to hurt him or roughhouse him or do anything shady. The trust between them.
Oh, it's so good. I talk a lot about how they're clearly friends from the jump. They are clearly buddies from this very first scene. Everything, if you're watching this episode for the first time, what you know of Neil and Peter is that Neil's the criminal and Peter's the cop. And then they have this scene between them where they're friends. Hello?
They know each other. There's clear history there. And it is so evident.
Neil says, there's a whole back and forth between it. But it's like, well, Kate left and she left this bottle behind for me. As her goodbye. And Peter does like a little giggle. And he goes, women.
And
it's so funny. It's such a little buddies, like, bro moment. Where it's like, man, you got dumped and all she left behind was a bottle. And it just shows, like, even just that shows their little bit of closeness. Because Neil also laughs when Peter says that.
He does. He, like, scoffs. He's like...
He's like, of course you'd say that. Yeah. It's so good. And there's, like, 40 of those in the scene. Maybe, like, 4. The scene's not that long. Let me be less hyperbolic.
I mean, we could turn this one 4-minute scene into 40 minutes of analysis. I believe in us, August. Oh my god. I just love them. I love them.
Love them so much. There's another little moment, but I'll just talk about it because we're talking about it. He looks up and sees Peter there, and he laughs at him.
Yeah.
And goes, you're wearing the same suit as when you first arrested me. And Peter's like, yeah, classics never go out of style. And they share this little smile between them.
It's so cute. Also, just the fact that Neil remembers the exact suit that Peter was wearing when he arrested him 4 years ago. It's so good. It's so good. I love, like, he stands up and he notices that little thread on Peter's shoulder. And Peter lets him pick it off of him. He doesn't, like, he just lets him.
Oh. Wait, I want to build on that a little bit.
Go for it.
Because Neil starts to reach out to pick it off, and then he stops, and he holds his hands up. And he, like, waits that extra bit of moment for Peter to tell him no or anything.
Yeah.
And it's, like, a cute little consent moment.
It is.
That just shows really, like, a care between them.
I think it shows, like, how much they respect each other and trust. It goes back to trust. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's one of those things where I'm like, that's such a clever little moment to show that moment, that little touch of reaching out and stopping and waiting 2 more seconds. It would take 800 words to explain that same depth of trust.
Yes. Piggybacking off of that insane level of trust, Neil gives Peter the wine bottle and asks him to take care of it for him, which is, it's his last piece of Kate. It's the last thing that she left for him. And he fully gives it to Peter and says, take care of this for me, and just trusts him to actually take care of this empty wine bottle.
The level of trust just to even offer it to him.
Right.
And the expectation of that, yeah, Peter will keep it safe.
He will. He knows he will. He trusts him to. It's so good. It's so good.
He's asking Peter to keep it safe too, whilst the whole entire police force are barging through the door.
Yes. And Neil is, like, cool as a cucumber, like, just staying relaxed. He doesn't tense. He doesn't try to fight. He hands Peter the bottle and then puts his hands up and just, like, waits.
Yep. And it's... it's insane. Because they come in and they... Oh my god, like 4 people grab Neil.
Mm-hmm. Overkill.
And that's after Peter had called them and been like... He's unarmed. It's after Peter walked in there alone.
Mm-hmm.
They have all but a sniper rifle pointed at this man who, yes, he did escape prison, but he's also convicted of bond forgery.
Right.
Why are we doing all this?
Like, all of his crimes that he has been convicted of were non-violent. Even the ones that he's suspected of were non-violent.
Yeah, it's all white-collar crimes.
Yeah.
It's art forgery and bond forgery and counterfeiting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why are we acting like Neil's a serial murderer here? So then it cuts to Neil's dragged away in handcuffs, and it cuts to the next day, I think, or soon thereafter. Diana, like, brings Peter the proof that it was the security fiber from the Canadian $100 bill.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both so smug. Diana and Peter are both jazzed as hell that Neil was right.
Peter looks so proud.
Oh, he's elated. He's living for the thrill of it all at that point.
He really is.
The camera nerd in me, real quick, wants to mention that they mounted a camera to a revolving door to get this one quick shot of Peter walking outside into the streets of New York. And so the camera's, like, mounted to the revolving door. It's just really cool. It's just extra. I will let you talk about the next scene because you have it memorized.
I do. I do, which makes me sound unhinged. I have it memorized because it was the Netflix, like, little, like, minute-long preview scene when White Collar was on Netflix. Every time I pulled it up, I would watch the little preview scene, and I would just quote this whole fucking scene.
You've sent me video proof of doing this.
I have. And did I do it again when I watched the episode earlier today? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Fucking amazing.
But yeah, so it's just so cute. It's cute that we see, like, Peter is there honoring his word, meeting with Neil in the prison. And I love Neil asking Peter for his deal, like, you know, presenting him all of this information. Like, I've done this research. I can be released into your custody. I can help you solve cases. I can work for you. You can put me on this tracking anklet. There's new upgraded versions. They're tamper-proof. They're unskippable. And Peter's just like, no. Yeah, I know you. I know you're going to find a way to skip on it. I know you're just going to run and try to find Kate. And it's so good. Just, like, the vulnerability of Neil in that moment, like, he's literally asking Peter to, like, I'm putting my life and, like, control of all of me in your hands just so that I can get out of this fucking prison.
If you want to analyze the poetry of their relationship, it's in that moment.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we learned so much about them, too. Neil, like, mentions the case that they're working on, and he's like, I know about your case. I know you're after the Dutchman. I know why you call him the Dutchman. And Peter's just like, how do you know this? And we get a peek into, like, how much they know about each other and how much they, like, kept tabs on each other and checked up on each other. And one of my favorite little details is Neil asking Peter, did you get the birthday cards? Because Neil sent Peter birthday cards while he was on the run. He sent him birthday cards. While he was in prison, he sent him birthday cards. Fucking love it. I love it. I love it.
I love the line that's like, I know you know my life. You don't think I know yours.
Yes. Yes. It's such a good scene.
Oh, but it ends heartbreakingly.
It does. Peter, like, doesn't even consider it. He's just like, no, not happening. Good try. No. And Neil, like, the last thing he says is think about it. And Peter's just like, no, nice try, and then leaves. And it's so sad. And Neil looks so, like, heartbroken.
Leaves with a little pat on Neil's shoulder as he goes. It's very condescending, but in a, like, understandable way.
It is, yeah.
When you're looking at it from Peter's like, no, obviously this is a con. Mm-hmm. You're setting me up to fail right now.
I don't trust you to actually stay under my custody and not run away and try to find your girlfriend.
So Then it cuts to, so Neil's defeated after Peter leaves, and it cuts to Neil back in his prison cell, and the prison cell has been stripped.
Yep. Everything that he had is gone except for his tally marks. That is the only thing that is left.
And it's like one of those things that you might not catch it when you're watching it for the first time, but it's barren, devoid of all personality, devoid of all hope, love, joy.
Yeah.
And then you it's crushing that Neil clearly had a routine set up where it would be lights out and he would add a tally mark.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to the tally mark wall that he has, and he goes to add another one, and he catches himself, and he realizes he's fucked everything.
Yes.
This is the moment where he truly realizes the grave he's dug himself in.
Well, because I'm fairly certain this moment is supposed to be like, this is the day that he was supposed to be getting out. Like, he's making this tally mark, and it's very clear, like, that should have been the last one. It should have been the last one. And I think...
No.
Isn't it?
I disagree.
What do you mean? We've talked about this before.
Have we? I don't agree with that.
No, we've talked about this before because he like makes the final one and then he flips out and then he starts anew and then it automatically cuts to Peter and Peter says he would have gotten out today.
Yes, I agree that's everything that happens.
What is it that you disagree? Do you not think that it's the day that Neil was supposed to get out? You think it's his first night back?
No, I think that's the day Peter came and visited him.
Oh, I don't think so.
A rift is forming.
And I have thoughts about it.
Why would he finish? Oh, we're going to debate.
We are.
Why would he finish the original tally marks?
Because he had a set number of them. Like, it's very, like, grid, line, straight, perfect, right? And, well, but why... Okay. He had to finish his original sentence and then do the additional 4 more years, right? So why wouldn't he finish the tally marks that were there and then start new? It's like putting that final tally mark on the wall, like it feels like it really hits him. Like, this was supposed to be the last one. I was supposed to be getting out. Like, I wasn't supposed to have to be doing this anymore. And he's probably thought about putting that final tally mark on the wall so many times and what it was going to feel like and everything that was going to come after. And now he has to go over to the other wall and start over because he's got 4 more years. He has to start all the way fucking over.
I agree with that part, that last sentiment. But I think this is the day that Peter came and visited. He had clearly had this backup plan with Peter.
Mm-hmm.
That he was ready to offer that to Peter. He had an in through the red string, but he had been clearly thinking about offering his services as a CI. Because I don't think he would have offered for Peter to come back in 1 week if he didn't have some sort of plan already in place.
Yes. Can I derail you a little bit and talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know how long did he have this in his pocket? How long was he thinking about doing this? Like, how many times did he think about picking up the phone and calling Peter and making this same offer to him? And was it just that he was waiting for the right leverage? Or do you think, like, maybe he brought it up to Kate and was like, Kate, I can get the fuck out of here. I just have to work for Peter. And Kate was like, no, don't fucking do that.
Personally, I would think Neil would just serve his sentence. I think Peter would have been even more suspicious of Neil offering as soon as he got to prison.
Yeah. I don't think it was something he thought of right away, but I think he's probably thought about it. I don't know, maybe in the last year or so.
He probably has thought about it. Because, like, it has come up, I'm sure, in his head. But I think he is a man of honor. And he's like, I did the crime. I've been caught. I'll do my sentence.
I feel like he's really considered it. Maybe when Kate first, like, broke up with him, maybe that was his first thought. And then he was like, no, I'm just going to fucking break out of here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Just musing.
I don't think he would let Kate have that much say over it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It'd be a decision he made.
Yeah.
But either way, to go back to the tally marks.
Yes.
I think he had this backup plan to leave prison, get out with Peter. He was hopeful for it because he's clearly very upset when Peter rejects him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's that moment where he's like, I have nothing. No other plans. Nothing else to give. The only thing I have left is starting my sentence over. And so he's back in this routine. Supposedly he's been there for a week thinking, oh, I just have to wait till Peter gets around. But it's only then when he realizes that Peter said no and that it's all crashing down that really hits him, that he has another 4 years to serve.
We agree on the last sentiment, that it's like...
We agree on the last thing.
It's definitely hitting him that he's starting over. I still think that it's... But I see your opinion too. That's valid.
I see your opinion. Reach out to us on our socials. Tell us what you think.
Yes. I would love to hear everyone's take, actually.
So it cuts from Neil drawing this last tally mark, however you see it, to Peter at his dining room table. And, oh, it's my favorite shot. It's my favorite framing, Rainy.
It's good. It's really good.
It was my computer background for a good couple months. Peter is sitting alone at his dining table. He's got his shoulder holsters wrapped around a chair. His briefcase is down. And he's got on the table in front of him is all this evidence linked to Neil Caffrey, assumedly.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of know that it's the stuff about Neil before it's revealed to be the things about Neil. Because right on top, there's this little birthday card. It's just such good storytelling in that frame.
Yes.
You can tell it's late at night. You can tell Peter's kind of miserable. You can tell that it's Neil Caffrey evidence because of the little birthday card that was mentioned in the previous scene.
Mm-hmm. And Peter's just lost in thought, like clearly having some emotions.
He's so melancholic.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to meet Elizabeth.
I'm just now realizing that there's this bowl of fruit and it's massive. Rainy, there's 6 bananas. More apples than I could count. I'm pretty sure a mango and a whole thing of grapes.
Let me pull this up.
This is clearly the important part of this episode. We said we would talk about the little details. We did say we would talk about the little details that mattered. This one doesn't matter.
It matters to us. Oh my god. That is massive. How I've been so focused on the birthday card, I never even clocked that bowl of fruit before.
Right.
What the fuck?
I know. Okay, so the pilot episode is filmed like on location. They later build sets because the pilot was shot like a year before the show was picked up, before it became serialized. And so they're filming at the real house. They'll have outside shots of this house and where Neil ends up living. But those become sets that they work on. But for the pilot, these are the real locations where those outside shots are filmed. And so I'm like, well, I know this is a real family living room. This is a real house right now. That surely is not the family's bowl.
No
of fruit.
way.
There's no way.
There's no way. Like, was this the props department where they just like get a giant basket and just put a bunch of fruit in there?
Okay, but to be fair to the props department, throughout the rest of the show, there are massive bowls of fruit. We've talked about other massive bowls of fruit. I just now noticed this one. Anyway, is it bad if I'm like, now that the 2 fruits are done talking about the bowl of fruit?
I love that. Leave it in.
Anyway, back to the melancholic, sad scene that's happening before us. It's where Elizabeth gets introduced. Sweet Elizabeth Burke.
Elizabeth.
Oh, she's great. She's especially great
She
in this.
is. She's just so good.
She comes down and sees all this evidence spread out across their dining table. And she's like, don't tell me it's Neil Caffrey again. Oh, straight to my heart. Cupid's arrow.
She sees all of this stuff and she just knows, 1, my husband is thinking about his favorite criminal again. And that's why he's not coming to bed. 2, something is bothering him. I need to help. And then Elizabeth's line, I've been competing with him for 3 years.
Literally what I was just about to say.
Competing with him for 3 years, she says.
And that's reflected on, that's the earlier comment Peter made at the prison of, I know I spent 3 years of my life chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
And they say later in this episode, or maybe in the next episode, that Peter and Ella been married for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to go back 4 years from now. 6 years of their marriage. 3 years of that was spent with Peter chasing Neil Caffrey. They'd been married for 3 years.
Yep. And then they talk about Neil, and Peter's clearly conflicted. He's conflicted about the fact that Neil is back in prison. He's conflicted about the deal that Neil asked for. He's conflicted about letting him out of prison. He's conflicted about a lot of things.
Peter's at war in this scene with himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has to talk it through with Elizabeth to work through it, which she's so good at. Elizabeth is so smart and such a good character. I love her.
Oh, love her to death. She's probably one of the most perfect characters, especially in the pilot.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my favorite exchanges goes down where Peter's like, it's not supposed to go this way. You get caught and you do your time. And I love that dialogue, that it's showing that Peter's not conflicted about, how do I want to say this?
Not conflicted about Neil serving his sentence?
Right, he's not conflicted about having put Neil back in prison, having caught him or anything, but he's mourning on behalf of Neil.
Yeah.
That one bad decision, quote unquote, led to 4 more years in prison. When Peter kind of doesn't think he deserves that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of tell, he doesn't really think that Neil deserves the 4 more years, even though he did escape. And then Elizabeth makes the really good point of, well, he served the time that you put him in there for.
Yeah. And they have a whole little exchange of, oh, it's so adorable, where Peter's, reluctant to get Neil out. Because he's no, it's some con. It's just an angle. As soon as he gets out, he's going to run after Kate. And Elizabeth's oh, come on. You don't think... Oh, I'm trying not to go straight to the you wouldn't have run to me line, because she says more.
She does. She's you think his whole thing was that he broke out, knowing full well that you'd find him and put him back just so that he could trick you into letting him out again.
Right. Maybe I got my scenes jumbled. But there's another exchange where Peter talks about how he made stupid mistakes for girls when he was young.
Yes.
And Elizabeth is so cute. You were young. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me just pull this up because I'm trying to quote it.
She says Peter says, I was young and stupid. And Elizabeth says, Neil's young. And then Peter says, but he's not stupid.
And that means so much to me. I love that. I love that qualifier that Neil's too smart to have been acting so stupidly. And Elizabeth's kind of people do stupid stuff for love, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Peter just can't wrap his head around the fact that Neil would do this for a girl. And then Elizabeth is just well, if you were Neil, wouldn't you do it for me? And I think it takes her saying that for Peter to be fuck.
Right. And I love the understanding that comes from, that's built in with, oh, I would do that, actually. I love that it's putting Peter on Neil's level. Of he's been kind of hypercritical of Neil. Of yes. He ran with 3 months left on a 4-year sentence. How stupid of a decision. He's said twice now that Neil's too smart to have done this. He said it somewhere in the prison.
3 times.
What?
He did.
I think so.
Well, he said it in the prison and he said it at the table. But he's mentioned more than once how smart Neil is. Earlier in the conversation, he said, Neil's smart. You know how much I like smart. Yeah. We breezed past that, but I had to mention it because it's important to me.
Yeah, that's so fair. I didn't mean because he does mention a lot how smart Neil is, but I'm more talking about that the comments he makes of how, I'm thinking more of the specific times he says Neil's not stupid. That's yes. An important distinguisher to me.
No, I agree, because he is specifically talking about this was a stupid decision, and Neil is not stupid. Neil does not make stupid decisions.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love the assuredness of that perspective of Neil, is that Neil doesn't do stupid stuff. And Elizabeth kind of lowers that pedestal Peter's put Neil on of no, sometimes people do stupid stuff.
Yeah. Especially for love. It humbles Peter a little bit, I think.
It definitely humbles Peter's perspective of Neil. He's making Neil into this very grand con artist. And it's like, no, sometimes he
Which
does
is
just
fair.
make little impulsive decisions. Well, as impulsive as escaping prison in 1 month, a month and a half, excuse me. It's just a good, like, it really puts Peter and Neil on the same level. And that's what makes Peter decide to help Neil. And which also makes it that twice Neil's love life has been the answer to Peter's problems.
That's true. Oh my god. I love that.
Okay, so I think that ends that scene. Unless you have more to say.
Nope. My next line is about Neil.
So, in the original run of the episode, it cuts straight to the scene of Neil being, like, let out into the parking lot with Peter. But in the extended edition, there's this one quick little scene of Neil and Peter inside the prison, with Neil being led by guards to Peter.
I love it.
And Peter puts the bottle down. The one that Neil gifted to him, and it was like, please take care of this.
Yes.
And Neil's very annoyed.
Well, I wouldn't say he's very confused.
He's like, they won't let me have this here. And Peter just goes, I know. And I'm quoting the scene bit by bit. 1, because it's so short. But 2, because, again, the facial expressions, the acting.
Yes. Neil's face when he realizes what's happening is so good.
You can see the shift from confusion to understanding to elation.
Yes.
It's so good. But then it cuts to Neil walking out to the parking lot, waiting. Peter's car is there, ready. Little details, Rainey. You can tell that Neil's wearing the clothes that he was rearrested in. The white shirt and trousers of the police uniform.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also got this black pea coat on. And he was not arrested wearing that.
No.
And so I'm like, where did the coat come from? It had to have come from Peter.
You think so? You don't think maybe he had that? Maybe that was one of his, like, original things? Like, well, no, he definitely didn't have it the first time he was arrested either.
Yeah. That's a season 2 thing, but we know he wasn't wearing a coat then.
Nope. It had to, Peter brought him a coat.
Coat.
That's cute.
I'm going to bring that coat back up later. It's in my notes.
Okay.
That's a next episode thing. But they just have a cute little exchange. They reaffirm what's happening, that Neil's being released into Peter's custody and all that. And Peter's like, do you have any questions? And Neil's just like, why agree now? What changed?
Yeah.
And Peter, it's so funny to me, because this is not at all the truth of why Peter's agreeing, I guess.
The truth is far more complicated.
Yeah, it's a big simplification. But Peter just kind of rolls his eyes and goes, my wife thinks you're romantic. Like, that's an answer.
Right.
It's so funny to me. Neil just runs with it. He's like, sure. I guess that works.
Yeah.
So Peter drives Neil to his new place of residence. Ooh. And it's this rundown, grimy motel.
It's awful. Poor Neil.
Poor Neil. And there's this one little action that they, like, even addressed it in the show, but it took me forever to catch it. Is that Neil walks in and he, like, scratches his anklet with his other foot. And I never noticed that for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. They call it out in the scene and everything. Because the guy who is running the front desk of the motel, he goes like, it's like a wedding ring. It itches when you first get it or something like that.
Yeah, it's annoying at first and then you get used to it.
Yeah. And he, like, puts his leg on the table and is also wearing a tracking anklet.
You know what I noticed about the guy, though?
What?
His anklet has a red light on it.
Does it?
It does.
That's so funny. They're just letting this guy run the motel outside of his radius.
Yep.
It does have a red light. That's so funny.
Right.
Oh, it's blinking and everything.
Yeah. Like, are you supposed to be here, sir? Do you actually run this motel?
His probation officer is not doing a good job. The marshals are not on his ass.
It's just a fun little detail that I noticed, though. I was like, that's interesting. I want to talk about real quick.
Okay.
So Neil, like, obviously is very uncomfortable with this awful motel, and I don't blame him because it's terrible. And Peter is just like, he acts kind of annoyed that Neil has the gall to be like, do I have to stay here? And what the fuck am I supposed to wear? And it's like, I feel like those are valid questions. This motel is dirty. There are flies. There's a prostitute hanging out there. Like, are you sure? And then Neil is literally like, I'm wearing my entire wardrobe. How am I supposed to go to work with you if I have a white t-shirt and a pair of pants and a pea coat? Like, I have no money. I have no clothes. What the fuck am I supposed to do? And Peter's just like, this is what you wanted.
Right. I kind of understand it in that moment where I think it's a good, like, I think it highlights what Neil should have expected.
Okay.
Like, I do think the motel's shitty. Like, it's gross and has bad energy all around.
It does.
But I think if Neil has a budget of $700 a month and has a 2-mile radius, I don't know. I feel like there's only so much $700 a month could have gotten him.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good way to, like, set reality into Neil, which also makes it a good way to subvert what his reality should have been.
Yeah. Which he does very quickly.
Which he does. Oh, okay. This is the one part of this episode that, when watching it with other people, it's very much like you just have to roll with it. We're not asking questions.
Yeah.
We're not acknowledging the plot armor, the luck, the serendipity of this moment. We're just rolling with it.
We're just going with it. Because Neil is extremely lucky in this moment.
Yeah. It's crazy. Because he goes to the thrift store on the corner.
He does.
He's, like, pouting and going through all the boring clothes. And it just so happens this nicely dressed woman in, like, a fur coat and everything comes in with this bundle of suits and bags.
Mm-hmm. Nice high-end suits.
So, of course, Neil's immediately interested.
Of course.
And he comes right over. I forget the exact sentence, but she's like, oh, those suits are just sitting around in storage. Well, really, it's a guest room, but all I use it for is storage nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, really? You just have this guest room filled with nice suits? I love her. I love their dynamic. The scene cracks me up because it's just it's so ridiculous in its setup.
It is. But it's also very cute.
It's so cute. It's so cute. The show just needed a little bit of, like, magical realism sometimes.
Yes.
And it's so funny.
I also love, okay, I'm gonna, like, it's very funny, but also, like, if you analyze it a little bit too much, like I like to do.
Ooh, go for it. Go for it.
I love, like, I feel like this is another piece of, like, getting to see Neil's personality and who he is, because, like, on the surface it does look like, oh, here's this clearly rich woman with these really nice suits and she lives nearby in a mansion. I'm gonna fucking con my way into a better situation and into these suits and into her house. And that's what it seems like on the surface, but, like, you can tell that Neil is genuinely interested. Like, he genuinely appreciates the suits. He genuinely appreciates her story. He genuinely, like, wants to hear about Byron and about them playing poker with Cy Devore and the Rat Pack. And, like, he's so genuinely, like, curious and interested and respectful of, like, her history. And I just think it's such a good moment between them. Like, it shows you so much about Neil and it shows you so much about June. And it's clear they want us to think at first that he is conning this woman so that he can get, like, this better life. But he's not. It's not a con. It's just Neil being Neil. And it's so sweet to me. It's so sweet to me.
That's fair.
And I wish that we could have gotten, like, I wanted to see Neil and June's, like, conversation where he told her, like, his history. I wanted to see that so bad.
I don't know if I think the show's portraying it as a con. Maybe that's where I'm just like, I think it just is pure luck that he stumbled into this conversation.
I think with the way that he says, "Do you live nearby?" I think that's them trying to, like, get us to think that he's trying to con her. I don't know.
That's fair. I think it's just funny storytelling. Where it's just like, hold on, we gotta force the puzzle pieces into place a little bit here.
Yeah.
I will say that I do think Peter thinks it's a con a little bit.
Oh, he definitely thinks it's a con. Definitely.
When he shows up,
he's like, what the he's like so irritated right away that Neil has moved.
Hold on, we gotta go back a little bit.
Yes, we do.
Because we have to go to Peter arrives at the motel. And Rainey, we're talking so goddamn long.
We are. We're doing that thing where we're going scene by scene again. I was trying to like...
We are? I want to talk about every scene though.
I get it. I so get it. This is our Achilles heel.
This is our Achilles heel. We're almost done with the first episode though. Anyway, we have to talk about the note that Neil leaves.
Yes, I love the note.
He leaves a note for Peter to find the next morning that says, "I have moved 1.6 miles, XOXO Neil."
It's so good.
It's so good. He's such a brat.
He really is such a brat, and I love him for it.
It's just a little detail that I could not miss.
No, it's in my notes too. It literally says the note XOXO Neil.
I'm gonna skip us a little forward.
Okay.
To Neil's grand entrance down the staircase.
It's so good. It's very prom like.
Peter's at the bottom of the stairs, just watching. Like, he was talking to Neil in his pajamas. He's been waiting for Neil to get dressed, and Neil comes down in this swanky suit with his skinny tie and his fedora.
And he looks so proud of himself, too.
He's stoked. He's so excited. And Peter just goes, "You look like a cartoon."
It literally, like, knocks the wind out of Neil's sails, too. He's, like, so offended. He's like, what the fuck?
He starts, like, peacocking more, where he, like, takes the hat off and does, like, a little flip with it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're just adorable together. Peter's so mad, and Neil is just, like, being Neil.
He is. He's just so proud of himself for, like, upgrading his life so quickly and so easily.
Yeah.
I feel like part of why Neil is so proud of himself in this moment is because he managed to get all of this without stealing or conning. And I feel like he wants Peter to acknowledge that. And he's like, look what I did. I'm so proud of myself. And then Peter's just like, no.
I can support your belief in that.
Okay.
I've never read it that way.
I didn't read it that way until this time. And then I was like, maybe he's proud of himself because he didn't steal anything. He didn't con anything. He just got lucky. And he's really proud of himself. And he wants Peter to be proud of him. And then Peter's just not proud. Peter's just, like, flabbergasted.
Peter is very flabbergasted. I'd have to mull on that a minute. I can see why it's compelling. Finally get to the airport to finally actually, okay, this whole time there's not been any actual investigating done besides the blown up bank at the beginning.
That's true. No casework whatsoever.
No casework, just mentions of the Dutchman here and there. But the case is finally starting to pick up. They go to the airport. There's, like, a really smart scene. Is it smart?
I don't know. Which scene?
There's a clever scene of Peter interrogating their suspect.
Mm.
And his lawyer walks in. And he's like, "You can't talk to my client. We're done." And Peter, like, pouts and storms out. But then it's revealed it's not the lawyer. It's someone there to kill this guy.
Yeah.
The guy that's connected to the crime. And I think that's really clever. I like that the guy impersonated a lawyer to get in to murder this guy. But there's such good scenes between Neil, Peter, and Diana, who's also there.
Yes.
They're really well, I was going to say they're really cute. They mean a lot. They're very sentimental to me. It's a lot of Diana bickering.
It is. It's cute. Like it sets up like Diana and Neil's the start of what will become their friendship, but it's just like a lot of like, I don't want to call it banter. I guess maybe a little bit, but it's very like friendly and playful.
It's Diana humbling Neil.
Yes.
She's not taking any of his charm and charisma.
Not at all. She's just like putting him in his place and like, no, you are not doing it for me, honey.
Yeah.
Neil is clearly trying to flirt with Diana and Peter's just like, stop. Like, it's not gonna happen. And Neil is like, sure it is. She likes my hat. And Peter says she'd rather be wearing the hat. And just like, you can see on Neil's face, he's like confused and then he gets it. And Diana being a queer character meant so much to me when I was watching it in 2009 when it was first airing, because I was like just realizing that I wasn't straight, and then to have this woman in what very fast became my favorite TV show, like it meant a lot to me just to have that representation in 2009, which is it was rare back then. It was very rare, and especially for it to like not even be the most interesting thing about her character. Like, it's just a part of her character. It's not her entire character. It's not the most interesting thing about her. It meant a lot to me.
I love the little quote from Peter. Neil's like, I thought you guys had a rule about this. And Peter's like, that's the army. We don't ask, we don't care.
Yes. I love that so much. I love it so much.
It makes Diana being a lesbian just so casual. Yes. And such a non-issue in the show.
And that one, also super rare for 2009, and also extremely meant so much to me. Like, I can't tell you how much it meant.
If it's not clear, this podcast is brought to you by two lesbians. And, Diana isn't in the rest of the season 1. Well, she comes back a little bit at the finale.
Yeah.
But makes me sad. We miss so much lesbian time.
Yeah, we do.
And what little details matter more than the lesbians?
Right?
I have 3 more points on my notes.
Okay.
So the whole reason that they're at the airport is because the guy that was murdered had brought over a bunch of old books. Not rare books. Not old rare books. Just old books.
Old books.
No. One book, like 400 times.
Yeah.
The same book over and over. And so Peter's like, okay, what the hell is this? He says to Neil, he goes, as a reformed professional counterfeiter, what are we looking at here?
Yes.
And that's something we both only noticed on this watch, that Peter calls him a reformed professional counterfeiter.
I love that line. I can't believe I never clocked it before.
Oh, it's such a little detail where Peter's acting on the belief that Neil is reformed. That goes away.
Yes, it does.
And I wouldn't even say that he's fully believing it now when he says it.
No. I think
given that Neil just escaped from prison. But it's a cute sentiment to be like, well, now that you're reformed.
Yeah. Like, use your skills for good here.
Right. And Neil's able to put together what the books are for and how they look like they're at the right, like, ratio size to be old Spanish bonds, I guess.
I think it's the size of it, and it's the fact that it is 1944 Spanish parchment.
There's a lot of reason that really narrowed down what the possibilities for these pages could be.
Yeah.
And so then they go to the National Archives and they compare it to the original Spanish victory bond.
They go there because they find the visitor pass in the book dealer's wallet. So they're like, okay, well, he went here, so let's go see what he was looking at.
I always forget that detail.
Yeah, they go to the archives and they look at the bond. And Neil is very impressed with this bond. He's like, it's beautiful. And the guy is just like ranting about it and how, it's got a fascinating history. It's been there since 1952.
It's like a Goya painting.
Yeah, it's a Goya painting. And Neil just looks up and he's like, it's fake. Just
Yeah.
cool as a cucumber, so like 100% sure it's fake. And the guy's like, that's impossible. It's been here forever. And Neil is just like, no, it's been here less than a week.
He gives all of his reasoning that's like the paint still smells, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's just another moment where you can see the pride on Peter's face a little bit.
Yes. Peter looks so proud of him. Peter literally, he's just like standing kind of behind Neil, letting him do his thing, and he's just grinning. And then he says, you're starting to earn your $700 a month. It's so cute.
It's such a good little moment between them. They have so many good little moments in episode 1. That's why we don't shut up about them.
We never shut up about them.
We never shut up about them. Which is going to lead us into our rapid fire and then our outro. So we can stop talking about them so that we can continue talking about them.
Do you have anything? Do you have a rapid fire?
Oh, I have so much stuff, Rainy.
Okay. Let's go. Let's do it.
I have at the very beginning, there's a funny moment from Jones, who becomes another titular character in the show. And right after the bank explodes, he just has this very funny, it's such a cue to like explain something, where he goes, Agent Burke, how did you know they were going to do that? Or how did you know I was going to do that? And it's like, he says it with such a tone of like puppy dog voice almost. It's very un-Jones, that one sentence.
It is very un-Jones.
It's just the Agent Burke. How did you know? It cracks me up.
It's very good. It's very un-Jones.
Very un-Jones. Maybe that's why it sticks out to me so much. But it makes me laugh.
This is like not important at all. But every time I watch the pilot, I notice 2 things off the bat. One, you can clearly tell that the beard is very fake and it's so bad. You can like see the netting on it. It's really bad. And also, Matt actually cut himself a little bit in that scene because there's like a couple flashes you get where he's got real blood on his chin. Poor baby.
Yeah. Shaving a fake beard, the blunt razor, doesn't go well.
No.
We skipped over the fact that the marshals have told people to put up roadblocks and wanted posters.
Yes, which is an important line.
It's an important line. It does come back up later because Peter says you're not going to catch Caffrey using roadblocks and wanted posters.
Yep.
And that's, if you're listening now, put a pin in that and save it for 7 weeks. Then we'll be back.
I love that every time that we see Neil interact with someone, like the guy that he buys the jacket from and the guy at the motel, he is so polite to everyone. It's just like a little Neil thing that I love. He's very polite.
Yeah. He's all charm, all charisma.
Yeah. I love it.
I freak out over the fact that Peter can tell through blurry, grainy security footage the day Neil stopped shaving.
Yes!
He can pinpoint the exact moment, the exact day, to the point that he can continue the investigation based off that day. And I'm like, how bad of a 5 o'clock shadow does Neil get? That it shows up on that security footage.
Right. It's like very grainy, very black and white. It's not even close up.
In Kate's apartment, the wine bottle that Kate left behind for Neil.
Yes, talk about that.
Very famously a Bordeaux. They talk about it a lot. But when the show first came out, they received complaints because it's not in a Bordeaux bottle.
It's not. It's the wrong shape for Bordeaux.
I think it's a Burgundy bottle.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not a Bordeaux.
No, not a Bordeaux. Oh, I love like when Neil is back in the prison and the guard is like walking by and telling him that it's lights out. You can tell like the guard does like Neil a lot and Neil likes the guard, and they have this like almost surface level friendship kind of. It's cute. It's cute to me.
Neil calls him by name.
Yeah, Bobby.
But it's a very cute moment between them. I actually have it. My next point was at that same scene when he crosses off the final tally mark for whatever. Your final tally mark, my mistake tally mark. He starts like aggressively scribbling on the wall.
Yes.
And he has like a little lamp light bulb, like a hanging light bulb in his room. And he smashes it within these like mad scribblings. Mm-hmm. And that was not scripted. That was accidental. And Matt just continues to act through it. Oh my God.
It's
incredible
so
work.
It's so good. That, like, you can feel the emotion in that scene. It's so good.
Powerful, amazing.
Yes. I love when Peter comes and finds Neil at June's, like, sitting out on the patio. And Peter says, we got a hit on Snow White. And I feel like that was, like, Peter testing Neil to see if he did his homework like he asked, because he left Neil with these files, like, on the Dutchman and the case.
Oh, yeah.
And Neil is just, like, instantly, he's like, oh, yeah, that thing that you, like, found in this encoded message. I did my homework, Peter. I know.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
We didn't talk about cappuccinos in the clouds.
We didn't. I can't believe that we didn't.
After the prom scene, with Neil coming down the staircase in his nice suit, Peter crashes out.
A little bit, he does.
He's so mad. And he's like, I work hard and I don't get cappuccinos in the clouds or something. But Neil living this fantasy.
The amount of work I do equals certain things in the real world, not cappuccino in the clouds.
And that's such a good random imagery. The show doesn't really get poetic like that a lot.
But when it does, it hits.
But when it does. Mm-hmm.
I like when...
Wait.
Oh,
Can I take your turn real fast? Because in the same scene, Peter tells Neil just, like, go on and get in the car. And Neil flips his hat back on as they're leaving. And I'm pretty sure it's just actors continuing the scene. Because they start squabbling. And Peter goes, not in the house.
It's so cute.
And Neil, like, pulls the hat off and throws his arms up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
It's
such just, like, a pouty moment.
Oh, Neil is so pouty. He's the poutiest. I love him. Okay, I love when Peter's talking to the book dealer. He's, like, interrogating him. And the book dealer's trying to be all smarmy and, like, be like, why I don't ask you about your job, why are you asking about mine? Like, kind of bullshit. And then Peter just, like, puts him in his place and, like, spouts off all this knowledge about, like, the original Snow White and where that story originated. And the book dealer is just clearly like, oh, no, you're smart. You know what you're doing.
My last rapid fire.
Okay.
Is more, I have to put a pin in something for the next episode.
Okay.
Because in the shot of Neil looking really closely at this forged artwork in the archives.
Oh, yes.
It reuses shots from the next episode. So I guess it's not really reusing them, but you can tell what scene they came from.
If you look close enough, you can. If you have August's brain, you can.
And if you're a freak about things like I am, you'll catch stuff like the same shot being used, but mirrored. And you'll say things to Rady like, look how they color graded this to match up with the close-ups from this other shot that they filmed.
It's good. It's a good little detail that I feel like only you would notice, but I love it.
So put a pin in this moment. I'll talk about it next week's episode of where that shot came from.
Perfect. That feels like a good point to end on.
Oh my god, did we make a podcast?
We made a podcast, August.
We made a podcast for the 4th time.
Oh, we're so good at this.
You want to give us our outro rating?
You can follow us on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Alleged Details, or on Tumblr and YouTube at All the Alleged Details, because they're the only ones that like our full handle. If you want to support our show, have ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, and bonus content, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/alltheallegedDetails. Our theme song is titled Allegedly and was written for us by Baby Doll Bucky, and our artwork was made for us by Cheyenne Couture. You can find links to their info on our Tumblr.
Yay!
Yay! We did it! We made a podcast.
We did it. Now we get to go on to the pilot part 2. Hello, this is August Solo real fast because we forgot to clarify that if you do subscribe to the Patreon, you will get access to our first attempt at making this podcast. We're currently in the progress of re-recording the episodes that we had, that we just knew how far we've come. We could see from the other side of the learning curve the difference in quality between the first attempts and now. And we still have a lot of pride from those episodes, and we have a lot of good moments in them, a lot of little funny moments and stuff between us. It's just from the idea of the quality that we were producing, we wanted to put our absolute best foot forward when it came to launching this podcast, which is why we're recording everything again. That doesn't mean those episodes aren't good. We just know we're better now. So those will be up on our Patreon. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really hope you liked it. On behalf of both Rainy and I, we've had so much fun. This is such a labor of love. And so if you want to support us, if you want access to us being a little bit more cringy, but just as passionate, you can check those out there at patreon.com/alldthealleged details. Thank you so much. Bye.